Welcome dear students to Computer Studies Standard 10th English Medium. Today we are in the fifth part of chapter number 9, Problem and Problem Solving. In this video I will be teaching you the flow chart thing, and we will complete the flow chart topic over here, and in the last part, that is part 6, we will be studying the algorithm. So the problem number 7 is, let us now solve one mathematical problem. Here assume that we want to find the sum of 50 odd numbers. Which are the odd numbers? I don't know. Is it 1, 3, 5, 7, right? So like this way we want to find the sum of 1 plus 2 plus 3 till which 50th, so it will be 99, right? So how shall we solve? So first of all we think like that way, that we assume that we have two boxes, one in your left hand and another in your right hand. That means you have to take two variables. Try to understand this thing. Okay, we have got two boxes, both are empty right now. Okay, we have got one box in left hand, another in right hand, both the boxes are empty. Now put one marble in the box in the left hand and thereafter empty it in the box of your right hand. Okay, so next step, now put 3 marbles in the left hand side box and transfer the marbles in the box on your right hand side. So what will happen by doing so? How many marbles will remain in box in your left hand and how many marbles will remain in the box in your right hand? So the box in your right hand contains total 1 plus 3, that is 4 marbles, and the box in your left hand will be containing how many marbles? 0 marbles, because we have already emptied this box in the right hand side and box. So if we repeat this process with 5, 7, 9, 11, 13 till 99 marbles, if we go on repeating, then we will get the sum of 1 plus 3 plus 7 and so on till 99 marbles. Remember that the box in your right hand was initially empty, right? Initially it was empty. With this similar analogy, similar logic, we have taken two variables in our flowchart program. Okay, the name of the first variable, that is the box in your left hand side, we give the name to that variable as number, and the box which is in your right hand side where we were emptying the marbles, that we give the variable name as sum. The variable number is initialized with value 1 and the variable sum is initialized with 0, similar to the empty box. The variable number is incremented by 2 at iteration of the loop. Now this loop is a new word for you, or I don't remember. Yeah, I had taught you in the last video. Looping means continuing the same steps again and again. Okay, so at the initiation of loop and is added to sum. Thus the value of the variable number becomes 1, 3, 5, 7 till 99. The statement will be sum is equal to sum plus number, keeps on adding the values of the variable into sum till the loop ends. The loop should end at 99. So let's try to understand this with a flow chart. So terminal symbol, start, down arrow key. Now here, do we have to take any input from the user? No, absolutely no. We don't have to take any input. We straight away have to assign the values to the variable. So here we assign 1 to number variable, that is the box in your left hand, and we assign 0 to the box which is in your right hand. What is the name of that variable? Sum. Fine, this much is done. We proceed further, down arrow key. Then we do another process. What is that another process? Sum is equal to sum plus number. What is the value of sum right now? Your right hand box is empty, so it is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. So now the value of sum is 1. Next process. Here there are only process symbols, just say. Now we also have to increment this number variable, right? So next process we do is number is equal to number plus 2. So now the value of number is not 1 but it is 3. Okay, then it will become 5, then 7, then 9 and so on. Next step. Now comes the decision symbol. Why have we to use the decision symbol? That is because we have to terminate the loop at 99. We have to stop the initiation of the loop at 99. So we use this thing. Here the condition is number less than 100? If yes, then what? If it is less than 100, then repeat these steps. So for this time it is less than 100, right? Number is 3. So it is less than 100. So we go here. Now here it is sum is 1. So 1 plus 3. I'm sorry. Here the number is 3. And 3 is less than 100. We go again here. Now sum is equal to sum plus number. Okay. So what was the sum? 1. 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. Now here number is equal to number plus 2. So now number is 5. Is 5 less than 100? Yes. So it will go on like this way. And here this 5 will be added. 3 will be added and so on. It will go on till 99. When it will reach 99, yes, it is less than 100. It will add 99. And then it will become 100. Okay, number will become 101. So it will exit the loop. Okay, 101 is not less than 100. So we go to the no side. What will we print in the no side? Print sum. Sum means whatever is collected here. Okay, the total of all the odd numbers which is collected here, that we give as the output, and the program will end over here. Hope you understood this concept. Now we try to solve a different type of problem, that is draw a flowchart to exchange the values lying in two different variables. Now when I speak this sentence, it looks very easy and very simple, am I right? You can pause the video over here and try to think how to solve this problem. What will happen if you try to solve this problem? Okay, the first thing which will happen is, suppose here if we replace the value of either A or B by any other value, the original value stored in them will be lost. That is, for example, A is equal to 5, B is equal to 10. Now if you say A is equal to B, then what will happen? The value lying in A will be lost. Okay, and the value of B will come inside A. So the value will become equal. So here you have to think how to solve this problem. So here there are two possible ways of solving the problem. Okay, problem could be solved in two different ways. So take first step, which is common for both the types of solution, is take two variables, say A and B. Okay, fine. Then what will be the next step? Solution number 1. Solution number 1 is we take a third variable, very simple, we name it C. Okay, then what do we do? To make sure that the value of A is retained, we first transfer it to C. Whatever is lying in A, we transfer it to C. Then the value of B is transferred to A, and then saved value that is saved in C is transferred back to B. You will not be able to understand like this way. I will solve with the flow chart and explain you. And please hit the like button. Okay. And all those who haven't subscribed the channel, please do subscribe the channel and continue watching the video. Because if I receive good response from you, then I will be preparing the videos on C language. Still so many chapters are left. 7.5 chapters are left. There are total 16 chapters in standard 10th textbook. So if I receive good response from you, I will continue preparing the video, or else I will stop. Fine. So we start with the terminal symbol, start. Okay, down arrow key. Now comes the thing of taking the input. We have to take two inputs. Input the first number and store it as variable A. Input the second number and store it as variable B. Now, very simple, we do a process in which we assign the value lying in A to C. Now here also we will solve with an example. For example, here the value of A the person has entered is 10. Okay, and the value of B is 5. Remember or note down somewhere. Value of A is 10, B is 5. Now we have assigned this 10 to C. So now what does C contain? 10. Next step, another process. So process symbol. Now A is equal to B. What was lying in B? 5. So now what is the value of A after executing this process? 5. So already B's value is transferred to A. Right? Now comes the transferring of value of A, which we have stored in C, that is 10. So how will we do? By the process symbol, B is equal to C. C was containing 10. So now the value of B has become 10 and the value of A has become 5. So like this way you can solve this problem. It looks very simple when I explain this thing. But when practically this type of question is asked to you and you have to use your logic, that time you will come to know the importance of this logic. Now straight away we give the output, that is print A and print B. And then we end the problem. Now we come to the second way of solving the problem. This type of questions could be asked in the competitive exams also. So be prepared for this type of things. Here we don't take the third variable C. Then you can pause the video and start thinking upon it. Then how can we solve this problem? So here we solve the problem in a different way, using different logic. Here we perform addition and subtraction to interchange the values. When I am speaking you will not get the point. So we will draw the flow chart and try to understand this thing. So terminal symbol, start, down arrow key. Same steps, input the first number, store it as A, and input the second number, store it as variable B. Okay, then next step is A is equal to A plus B. Okay, A is equal to A plus B and B is equal to A minus B. So A is equal, and third step, A is equal to A minus B. You will not be able to understand like this way. I will solve this example with a practical figure. Just wait. Let me finish this thing. So print A and print B and end. Fine. Now we try to understand this problem using this flow chart. Using a practical value. A is equal to 10, B is equal to 5. Here what step had we done? A is equal to A plus B. So what is A? 5. Sorry, 10 plus 5 means now what is the value of A? First it was 10. Now what is the value? 15. Right? Remember, A is equal to 15 now. Then B was 5, right? Now here what have we done? B is equal to A minus B. So what is A? 15. 15 minus 5 is equal to 10, right? So the value has been interchanged already here. Now A is equal to, third step we had done is A is equal to A minus B. What is the value of A? 15. You may be able to hear the noise or annoying noise of a rickshaw which is on, but I cannot do anything here. I am staying, we all are staying in India, and we have to bear with all this nonsense noise in the background. Rubbish people around us. Fine. So A is equal to A minus B. So 15 minus 10 is equal to 5. So when we print the value like this way, you get the answer. So you can see first A was 10. So it is replaced by 5, and B was 5, it is replaced by 10. So we end this problem here. Okay, and we finish solving all the flowcharts which were given in the textbook. Thank you. Goodbye. Now we meet in the last part of this.